guys and girls, it's Nathan Birch here from B.Invested.com.au, the place where all the fun stuff happens here. We help people build their property portfolio, take it to the next level and quickly transpire to actually building wealth and income from property investing. A lot of people out there go and buy properties and not make money from their property investing. Today I want to sit here and talk to you about how does a novice get into property investing and what are the best steps to get started. So we all have to start somewhere. When I first started investing in a property, I could legally sign a contract at the age of 18 at that point. But when I got excited about property, I was about 13 years old and I used to sit at the train station reading the Homes Pictorial magazines. I know it sounds funny, like most people go and read other magazines when they're about 13 years old, 15 years old, whatever, but I was reading the Homes Pictorial magazine. It's a property magazine here that used to exist in Sydney before the internet decimated the business of paper magazines. But with that, I used to sit there and look at property, think about, okay, how could I buy a property when I get older? I want to buy a property, how could I do it, and all that sort of stuff, and just self-taught myself. I had 5 years up my sleeve before I could even sign a contract, and in between chasing girls and all that sort of stuff, I used to think of how I could build a property portfolio one day, and when I was 18, I hit the ground running. But for people that, what I find most commonly is people go through life and they have busy lifestyles. Property's probably the last thing they're thinking of. They've got family commitments, they've got friends, they've got work, they've got all that sort of stuff. And where do you get started? Like, how can you get involved in property? How can you educate yourself on property? And for me, like when I first started, there wasn't any online forums. YouTube was probably just a concept by some kid in his garage. There wasn't enough education out there, and I just self-taught myself. But for you watching this video today, there's lots of resources out there for you to be able to get started. You have to watch out. There's a lot of spruikers out there that will try and sell you stuff and all that sort of gear. I don't care about selling anything. If you want to talk to me, I can talk to you. If not, go off and do it yourself. If you need our help, we do have services here. Whether it's to help you get started with a map session where we can help you draw up a strategy, or whether it help you accumulate a property, or whether we help you finance a property, whatever the case may be. But for you in 2013, when I'm here talking to you and recording this video, there's lots of resources out there. They can be from the form of forums. There's a lot of online forums out there. Google was never around beforehand. You've got YouTube, which a lot of people get on YouTube and watch that. I know there's hundreds of videos that I've recorded over the years that you could watch through. Some of them are boring. You probably get sick of watching me after a while. There's communities on Facebook which you can join up. There's lots of questions that you can ask, and other people have commented within different various forums or types of bulletin boards on the internet. There's lots of books out there, e-books, hardcover books, all that sort of stuff. Lots of places to get started. One thing that I would say is to be very cautious of the information that you get. A lot of information out there is swayed by spruikers out there that will try and sell you something to give you education around what they want to do and what they want to sell you. So with it, resources are out there plenty. One thing that I can talk from experience is I always take advice from those that have done what I want to do. So when I first started investing, I had no mentors, I had no guidance. I did what I could realise that I could do with property, and I researched it. I wouldn't be going around talking to friends and family about it if they haven't bought property. What I found as a person is that the colleagues that I worked with thought I was stupid. My friends thought I was an idiot. My family thought that I was going to go broke. People just didn't believe what you could achieve with property. And that can bring down your self-esteem. Lucky and fortunate enough for me, I was driven enough to push through those barriers of mental toughness and be able to push myself to go, look, I know what I'm doing, I'm going to take this decision on my own, and not listen to that from others around me. So you will get a lot of, depending on how aggressive or passive you want to be with your investing, if you want to go and tell your friends and family, look, I've got a principal place of residence and I'm happy with my family and all that sort of stuff, and start buying 10 properties in the next 6 months, it is possible. However, if you go telling everyone that you've just bought 10 properties, they're going to fear for your safety and they're going to think that you're doing something crazy, because it's not the normal for people to do that sort of stuff, but it is definitely possible. So just make sure that you talk to the right people. I know you can have a fight with your partner or whatever, go down to the pub and have a chat to one of the guys down there that's had a divorce recently. You can listen to his advice where he hates women, but at the end of the day, that's not the right advice that you go home and live your successful marriage upon. So with it, it's important that you go to the right places to find information, but any questions that you've got, go online, have a look. There's a lot of resources available. Go out there looking at properties, go onto realestate.com domain, go onto finance websites, go onto news.coms, look at local council websites. There's lots of resources around there to actually get you involved in property. There's books out there, there's good books out there, whether it be Rich Dad Poor Dad, whether it be some good authors on Australian property investing. There's some magazines, Your Investment Property magazine is one of the largest magazines in the country, which is a very good magazine where you can get a lot of good resources from, case studies, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, there's a wealth of knowledge out there in the marketplace to gain knowledge from. It's just a matter of getting out there and taking action. So one thing that I would advise upon, don't do anything until you actually have clarity and understand how it's all going to work. A lot of people go out and just buy a property for the sake of it. Look at, how is this property going to get me to my goal? If I want to be here in 5 years, how is this property going to attribute to getting me there sooner, and how is it going to help me achieve that goal? So don't do anything until you actually know 100% the pros and cons and know everything you can about it. Do that little bit of extra research and make sure that you get your financial goals. So appreciate you watching. Thanks for having me in your home and part of your viewing, and we'll catch up soon.